Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SB Reviews, where today we have a track from an actor named Herman Martinez titled Deleted Scenes, and this is off of his latest record titled Continuity Errors. The music was written and performed by Herman Martinez, engineered by Chase Cassara, and it was produced, mixed and mastered by Ahmed Mahmoud. Hopefully I pronounced those names correctly. Switching over to here, where we have the album artwork here. It's looking very colorful. There's a lot going on. There are 12 tracks on this album. This is the final song off of it, Deleted Scenes. And we're going to listen to the 7-minute 21 track from start to finish and hear what we think. Let's go. Okay, that's a nice thick sounding bass in the headphones. Interesting melody there. It's sounding nice and loud. I think the bass and the kick are sidechained. Nice vocal flourishes there. It's an interesting drum performance. Okay, so those side vocals are very, very loud in the mix. They seem like they're very dominant in comparison to the other elements. And there's like a resonance in like the low mids, like a kind of resonance in there. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but it's coming through on these headphones. The music's really interesting. I'm liking the amount of change there is. You know, you need that in a 7.5-minute track. You know, it's nice to have that little melodic break there after that hook line to come back in these vocals. And the guy's got a bit of flourish. He's got a sort of a slick technique to the way that he sings. You know, he sounds pretty confident in his range. There's some interesting melodies going on here. Some nice legato passages, a little bit of vibrato in there occasionally. Yeah, very subtle vibrato, but it's there. Nice, glistening, colorful arpeggios on each side of the headphones. I think it's these sort of gritty kind of guitars where the resonance is. Some like synth strings or something like that as well, which are kind of sick. Nice little change in this bridge. Sort of a semi-progressive vibe. Kind of reminds me of Opeth a little bit. Triplet groove on the drums. Fading in two painted words. Living within two worlds. I'm focusing more on the lyrics now. I'm sort of taking in the music and I'm understanding that a little bit better. It's got a... How do I describe the way it makes me feel? I'm liking those vocal melodies there, along with like the filtered kind of very echoey, kind of reverbish kind of call and response kind of stuff going on with the... You know what I mean? So this part sounds very, very good. We've got a lead instrument in the center, you know, the bass and the drums, and I think it's just a little bit of those rhythm guitars and where they're placed. Yeah, it's a really filthy rhythm guitar tone. I'm liking the transition, the shift in sections here. It's really good, going sort of a more of a heavier part there. The guitar parts are fairly stylish and fairly clean as well, despite the tone being sort of like distorted or overdriven. You know, like the drums are nice and punchy, and there's a bit of finesse there as well. Gonna just get rid of that because I don't know why that's coming up in the middle. Sorry about that. I don't know why that came up. I thought I disconnected it. Yeah, like you know, some guitarists really enjoy that tone. There's a kind of a grittiness and aggression to it that is kind of badass in a sense, you know, like it reminds me a lot of like the 90s grunge and stuff like that. But I don't know, man, like I would have personally preferred a little bit more clarity to that tone, but if that's the kind of vibe they're going for, that's totally fine. You've got a lot of higher sort of frequency content, mid to highs in the and so the drum parts and the vocals and everything like that. So it balances out. Hiding between the light. That part, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I'm not a singer, but like I really enjoy that melody, how it doesn't go where you think it's gonna go. It goes to like a chromatic or something like that. Yeah, the expected note was an E flat, but he goes to an E, which is really dope. I love that chromaticism there. It can kind of shake things up and make it sound a little bit more interesting. I'm glad they've got an EQ filter on the vocals at like 200 or 250 hertz. Yeah, Herman Martinez doesn't like to stay on one concept for too long. It's a constant journey. You're progressing through, I suppose, through different parts of the song. Maybe there is an A, B, and overall like A, B, and C sit with like subsections in them. I think that's great. It really helps to keep longer tracks like this thoroughly interesting and engaging. Oh, a bit of tension, but uncertainty, some diminished triads in this. Nice to hear some arpeggios in the bass line as well. I know, just playing the root notes. Yeah, that synth is unsettling. The choruses sound really sort of anthemic and almost uplifting in a weird way. And this is kind of like, oh wait, what's happening here? This is kind of dark and Oh, we're going back to this theme that we had earlier on. What's that sizzly thing going on there in the center? That's intriguing. I wonder how many stems or how many channels there would have been in this mix. Would have been a hell of a job to take care of everything. Well done to the people involved with the studio production. Yeah, I'm liking the confidence to just have space in this instrumental section without the vocals to allow the listener to kind of vibe in the afterthought of the story being told. We're kind of meandering through space right now. Doesn't particularly sound happy about where they're at, but there's brief moments of, oh, maybe we're getting somewhere. Then it comes back to this. Is the overall intensity of it increasing? It sounds like it's overall coming like a little bit louder. I could be wrong though. Hey! Excellent had the piano parts here kind of leading it out. I'm gonna have a listen through some of the verse sections earlier on. We're fading out because this is the last track on the album, so this is the big finish. So I assume this is one of the main tracks off of the album, which is interesting to have this like last because it's a banger, man. Like I enjoy sections of it. I think this last third was really intriguing with that purely instrumental section, having the different synths and guitar and parts with the bass and the drums and the piano and other samples. I think that the combination of those was great. It kind of sounded like how this looks, you know? Yeah, I'm just going to listen through a bit of the earlier ones just to hear the bit more of the story before we conclude, and then we'll go ahead and do that. You know, I got to hand it to Herman for coming in with the vocals at the 10-second mark of this, or the 9 to 10-second mark. There's no intro chord to this, which is really important considering that this is, of course, a longer song. Yeah, there's some parts I'm getting. I'm not sure if I'm quite nerved to. I'm not quite sure what that last word is. Is that? I'll show you all the things I've never had the nerve to feel. Is that what that part is? Like that's a really clean. That's a really clean melodic sort of like performance there. The guy's obviously got vocal chops and he's done a bit of training to sort of work on his vocal technique. Like I got that part, let it go, don't look back. I understood that part. It's just these sidechain vocals I'm not quite sure if I get. Bleeding, living, what is that? Fading into painted worlds. Cool. Yeah, the lyrics are interesting. You know, they tell an interesting story, like fading into painted worlds. What's that about, you know? I never know which side will win within me. Okay, so after having a listen to more of the song, I'm starting to get the hang of this. This guy's got an internal conflict going on. Maybe, you know, he's trying to communicate it with someone that he's going to help them feel things that he's never had the nerve to feel. It's an everlasting battle, and he's trying to come to terms with who they are as a human being, and maybe their interactions with other people. And he talks about fainting into painted worlds and stuff like that. Just the second half of this chorus here is quite important. Living between two worlds. We don't even let that fall. We don't even let that hang. We go back down there. It's a completely sort of. It's got a really unusual vibe to it. This one. There is no point in which I feel like things are going to turn up and become sort of positive or happy or upbeat. It's a consistent kind of. There's an anxiety to this track, a sense of. I can hear a sense of sadness to this track. This person sounds like they have issues that they're trying to work through, and there's within themselves. There's two worlds that they struggle between the way that people see them and who they actually are, and maybe they suffer from like some health issues or something like that, or they're just struggling to cope with life in general, or they could be talking about someone else. I'm not quite sure. That they're vague enough for me to need to be sort of like take guesses at it. I think that's fine. You know, I'm not here to be spoon fed the lyrics necessarily. I like having a bit of a think about stuff. It's all good. The music was incredibly interesting. There's a lot of color in the in the instrumental sections there. The performances were articulate and clear. There weren't a lot of I couldn't remember any points where there were any sort of instrumental mistakes or anything like that. And again, the vocals, I think, were recorded and sung the way that the singer wanted them to be. There was this frustration and angst there, but maybe a relief at getting those words out. And again, I like the occasional drum fills that went on. I'm liking the combination of different instruments in the mix. I'm liking the way that we had, no intro chord, but we also had a massive instrumental section at the end that felt like it was earned, but also it wasn't like a solo like an ego project, because there was never a point where it was like, oh, look at how crazy a song or a solo I can play on any specific instrument. It was obviously purely about the experience, and I've got a lot of love for that. That's effectively my review of Herman Martinez's deleted scenes off of the Continuity Eras album. Thank you for listening to this track and for watching this review. If you enjoyed this song, please do go check out Herman Martinez's Bandcamp and various other social medias. I'll provide links for those. And stay cool, stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spider hands out.